Pretty sure I forgot the Star Trek TNG movies in my Star Trek in brief. Welcome to Trip Trav. I'm Trip, or Trav, whichever you want to call me. This is Star Trek Beyond. And yes, I own the DVD again. It's still 2005. It came out quite a few years ago now, but it's still the most recent of the motion pictures. So we've got to look at it. It's from the Kelvin timeline, so it doesn't apply to pretty much all the other series except Enterprise, as discussed in my Star Trek in brief earlier. So, what you need to know is that this whole series started with this comic book, basically, which explained the story between Star Trek Nemesis, which was the last Next Generation movie, and the Kelvin timeline movies. To a point, because this has now been retconned by Star Trek Picard. So it doesn't really matter. So anyway, Star Trek Beyond came out to a mixed to low review. Didn't make quite as much as they wanted at the box office. It starred Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Simon Pegg, Idris Elba. That is a foxy Idris Elba. And it was, basic storyline was this. Maybe verbally I should explain this. So basically, the Enterprise goes to a new space station called the Yorktown. Captain Kirk's feeling a little bit jaded, kind of like Christopher Pike in the original pilot, and he wants to move. He wants to move on, and basically gets roped into going to investigate a signal. The signal goes to a planet. The planet has some spaceships which destroy the NCC 1701. That's right, this ship model, NCC 701. I don't mind it. It's a baby. No, it's not. It's probably the weirdest design. Still kind of better than the Discovery design, but we'll go into ship designs when I get that nerdy. So basically, the Enterprise is destroyed. They're stuck on the planet. Half the crew's captured. And then Pike and Scotty and Bones and Spock all have to rescue the rest of the Enterprise crew, because this Idris Elba plays a character called Kroll, who wants to destroy the Federation, or he has views against the Federation. He basically sucks the life out of human beings, which makes him take on the form, not human beings, but aliens, takes on the form of the people that he's absorbing. So basically, rather conveniently, they find a ship which has another alien character in it who's, I can't remember her name right now, but she's on it. And she basically is on a ship, and it turns out that it's the USS Franklin, which is an old ship from before Star Trek Enterprise, or after, or chronologically doesn't actually make sense. And they use that ship to get back to the Yorktown, because it's going to be attacked. This starbase is going to be attacked by Idris Elba. He's very keen. And basically the ship goes there. There's a wave of these microships that are all interconnected. They're all computer bound, interwoven. And basically what happens is they use sound to interfere with the transmissions, which leads to a really interesting, like, surfing spaceship thing. And then all of the little ships are destroyed, but Kroll makes it on board. Of course he does. He's very, very keen on his destroying Star Trek's utopian future, which he disagrees with. He also turns out to be human. He basically was a human who used technology to suck the life from... So even though he looks like an alien, he's actually human. Oh, amazing. There's not much references to Enterprise. There's a little bit of a familiarity with the Franklin. Kind of looks like the NX-01 Enterprise from Star Trek Enterprise, but not actually the NX-01 from Star Trek Enterprise. So anyway, Kroll gets on board. He goes, I'm going to stick this horrible virus which kills people into the air supply of this Yorktown space station, which looks like a giant space globe, like a glass globe. Seems kind of stupid in the middle of space that you would build something that fragile, but apparently that's what they did. So anyway, Kirk, Spock stop him. They kill him. He gets shoved through the air filters or something like that. And then we end on, oh, they're all having a party and stuff like that. That is possibly the worst introduction to Star Trek Beyond. It is a good film. I sound sarcastic, but it is a good film. So basically, the film is really good, really well acted. It plays with the Federation and Starfleet's goal of everyone is equal, the whole universe should work together, diplomacy, interspecies relations, and it plays on that. So you sort of get an understanding of not everyone's happy with the utopian future that has been set up. What it shows is a growth and a build into showing what Starfleet is about and Star Trek is about. And it's, funnily enough, the most Star Trek-y film of the Star Trek films in the Kelvin timeline. Amazingly, that's not saying a lot because Into Darkness was for another review, and the first Star Trek prequel / reboot / new universe movie is a whole other review as well. The whole story has like really good performances. Simon Pegg's role's upped in this. The Spock and Uhura relationship is gone. And it's generally quite an interesting movie. Special effects are of course brilliant. There's no hint of the Star Warsiness from the first Star Trek Kelvin timeline. Justin Lin, who directed Fast and the Furious, directed this. So there is like an added tempo, but obviously Simon Pegg, who plays Scotty, wrote the film, and he's a huge Star Trek fan. Also was in Doctor Who, and also was in Star Wars. One of very few actors to do that. And the whole film feels like a love letter to Star Trek, rather than the other two films, which feel like a rip-off of Star Wars and a rip-off of one of the best Star Trek films. So, if you want to watch this film, feel free. It's not the best in terms of action and adventure, but it is the best because of story. That is my review. I don't know how to end these. This is sort of a new thing. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to build the channel up. Send it to your friends. Otherwise, this fat man won't be able to get a haircut forever. Anyway, have a good night or have a good day. Trip out.